Okay guys, we're back with another crochet basics video, and today we're going to be talking about working into the chain when you do your crochet work. So let's begin. Actually, let me give you a disclaimer. I am actually left-handed, so whatever you see my work, if you are left-handed, your work will probably come out the same way for you as it does for me on camera. However, if you're right-handed, your work will come out the opposite direction more than likely. But I'm going to show you both sides of the work, so it shouldn't be a problem for you to learn, because I learned from a right-handed person, so it's possible. We're going to talk about working into the chain, but in order to do that, we have to make a chain. So I'm going to go ahead and make an unspecified amount of chains. It doesn't really matter at this point because we're just talking about working into the chain. And to review on how to make a chain, wrap your yarn around, bring it on the hook, through the loop on the hook. I did not count those, so I actually don't know how many are in there, but I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a bit. Okay, and then let's talk about working into the chain. When counting the chains, you do not start with this loop right here. Do not start with that loop. That's the loop that's on the hook. You always begin with the first chain from the hook, which would be, so if your loop was still on the hook, first chain from the hook will actually be right there. So you always start with the first chain from the hook, and then you count towards your foundation, or towards the beginning, which is here. So to count this, we would begin here actually. That would be the first, that would be the second, that would be the third, the fourth, fifth, so on and so forth. Now when you look at the front, that is the chain, and on the back, that is the spine, which is those little bumpy things there. That is the spine. Just like the spine on your back would be a little bumpy like that, the spine on a crochet chain is that bumpy part. Now there are two ways to work into a chain. Method number one, I'm gonna go ahead and go with a double crochet. Method number one would be to work, oh, if I can get on the camera like I'm supposed to, would be to work, put your hook through this first part of the chain and underneath the spine, like that. So you should have the top of the chain and the spine on your hook. You're going to wrap your yarn around and pull it through there, and I'm going to do a double crochet. And to review, to do a double crochet, you wrap your yarn around, you put it through the chain, which will be the next chain. I'm going to be putting my hook underneath the first loop and through the spine, underneath the spine. This is what it looks like on the other side. You'll have the first half of the loop here and the back of the loop there, and your hook should be underneath the first part of the chain and under the spine. And you're going to wrap your yarn around, bring it through, and make another double crochet. I'm going to show you one more time. Put it under the top part of the chain and under the spine. And you wrap your yarn around. Oh, you shouldn't split your yarn like that, so let me try that again. That really is a bad thing. Don't split your yarn like that. There we go. This is a 4-ply yarn, and I should not be splitting the yarn like that. Okay, there is one other method that you could use, and this is what it looks like. And as you see, you can see what looks like the spine right there. But that's not really the spine. That is the back of the other chain. And this is what the top of the work looks like. and that's a double crochet. Now let me go ahead, this is the back, this is the front. Let me go ahead and show you the next way to do this. The next way to do this is actually to work into the spine. And if you want it to work into the spine, the way you would do it is you would turn your chain over. This is the top of the chain. So method number 2 is to work into the spine. So you turn your spine over, your chain over, and I'm going to do another double crochet. And you put your hook between the spine like that. So you will have the spine on your hook, and then the 2 loops will be on top and the spine will be on the other side, and you pull it through there. Now it doesn't really matter which way you use, really, it's just personal preference. Once again, you put the hook in between the spine like that. The spine is on top, the 2 top of the chain is on the other side. You wrap your yarn around, bring it through, and then you make your double crochet. One more time. You I don't normally do it this way, going through the spine, but this is a method, so I'm going to show you both methods. And it's really hard for me to do it because this is not what I normally do, because when I make my chains, I make them pretty tight. So if you're gonna crochet into the spine, make your chains a little bit looser than what I did. So you pull it through and you do the double crochet. And notice what it looks like on the bottom. On the bottom of this one, it looks like a instead of having, looks like a spine, looks like a chain on the bottom, because the chain is on the bottom. And then you have a chain on the top. So it depends on your personal preference on which way you would like to do it. I prefer method number 1 over method number 2, only because of the fact that I make my chains rather tight. However, if I was to be making something that I wanted to seam together, I would work into the spine, because I will have these chains here and it would be easier for me to seam into it. Or if I was to make a cuff on a hat or a cuff on a sleeve, I would work into the spine, because I would want the chain to be on the outside on both sides, because this would be actually part of the sleeve and that would be what was showing, because I just feel like the chain makes a neater appearance on hat cuffs and sleeve cuffs and things like that. Well, that's it. I showed you both ways on how to work into the chain, the method number 1 and method number 2. So if you would like some actual patterns and things like that, of that nature, you can go ahead and go to the website, TashaSewingTutorials.com. You could go ahead and click on the crochet/knitting tab, and you're going to click on the crochet basics sub tab, and you will see all of our basic videos underneath that tab. Every time I put a new video up that's a basic crochet, it will go under that tab. And if you would like to find some free patterns for all levels, go ahead and click on the sub tab that says crochet patterns, and you will find some patterns for free and some patterns for sale. Well, as usual, I would like to say happy crocheting.